The Detroit Lions enter week 13 ranked 22nd in points per game, and they're looking to make that playoff push. I know they're going to make the playoffs. Right now, it's just a matter of winning the division and seeding. And Brad Holmes did try to address the secondary during free agency and the NFL draft. We bring in Emmanuel Mosley, CJ Gardner-Johnson, and Cam Sutton, all in free agency. And then we draft Brian Branch in the second round of the 2023 NFL draft. So I can't fault Brad Holmes for what he did in the secondary. He really did try. Emmanuel Mosley, season-ending injury. His first game back, he only took 3 snaps. CJ Gardner-Johnson played 2 games for us before he suffered what it seemed to be a season-ending injury. So I cannot fault Brad Holmes for that. So that brings me to the topic of today's video. There's come of late, not too long ago, a cornerback that is going to be released. I mean, if you have a cornerback that you're going to release and you announce it days, several days, even weeks ahead of time, that is red flag number 1. But let's entertain this, shall we? This is coming from JP Football. Now, says Raiders are expected to release veteran cornerback Marcus Peters per Vic Taffer. And this guy here is with The Athletic. The Athletic doesn't let you see anything for free. So I did go and try to verify the source, but you can't even read an article for free. There have been several plays where it looked like Marcus Peters has given minimal effort. Marcus Peters was almost cut earlier this season and is not expected to be back when the team returns from its bye week per the report. Now, for those of you that don't know, heading into week 13, this is the last bye week for the 2023 NFL season. There are about 7 teams off. I know the Vikings are off. The Ravens are off. Obviously, the Raiders are off as well, but this is it. Week 13, or yes, week 13, because we're going into week 13. That is the very last bye week. After that, there are no more bye weeks. Now, if Marcus Peters is it being announced that he's going to get released, and this is before the team even hits the bye week, that's a problem. That's a problem. So if you haven't even caught my drift, the Detroit Lions, in my opinion, are not going to try to get Marcus Peters. But let's continue this conversation for the sake of continuing it. Marcus Peters, cannot believe this guy was a first-round pick in 2015. He'll be 30. He'll be 31, actually, in a few days. I'm sorry. He'll be 31 in a few months. That's what I meant to say. Excuse me. You have drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs. He spent 3 years there. So if you see what's happening here, he didn't even fulfill his rookie contract. He was drafted in the first round. Not only did they not pick up his 5th-year option, they traded him away, I would assume, after 3 seasons. That's red flag number 2. Goes to the LA Rams. This is probably when I start paying attention to him. Spent 3 years with the Baltimore Ravens, and then this year with the Las Vegas Raiders. Has played in most games in his career, has played in 12 of the games thus far this season. Now, if we go and we look at his contract, he is only making $1 million, $1.1 million this year. And you would assume that maybe a quarter to a third of that is probably still what he has yet to earn for the remainder of this season. As far as Marcus Peters is concerned, yes, we need help at cornerback. Yes, after Jerry Jacobs, who in my opinion is not a true number 2, he's 3 at best. We still need depth, but is Marcus Peters the answer? I'm going to let the bishop say it for me. No. Marcus Peters is a culture problem. You talk about, now listen, I am really big on culture, but I think at the same time, it can get old. Like Dan Campbell saying that we don't want to bring guys at the trade deadline that don't fit the culture. So you trade for a wide receiver who has like 3 targets. I don't even know if Donovan Peoples-Jones has a catch. 3 targets in the 2 games that he's played since the trade deadline. So you got to like straddle the fence. You have to toe the line between culture and winning, right? It has to happen. So, but this guy here, Marcus Peters, he does not fit what we're trying to do. He might help us when it comes to the depth of the cornerback position. But I think that soon as this guy got here, if you talk about somebody not being a fit, it's this guy here. So that just tells you how bad we are right now. But again, I'm not going to put that on Brad Holmes, because Brad Holmes did try to address this in free agency. He focused all his attention on our less than stellar secondary. We know how bad it was with Jeff Okudah, Amani Oruwariye, Mike Hughes. It was miserable back there. Deshaun Elliott was a bright spot. So much so that he got a nice contract, I believe, with the Miami Dolphins this offseason. So not mad at Brad Holmes for that. He did try, can't help injury. But Marcus Peters is not the answer. I don't think that. I think somebody, maybe the Chiefs or somebody trying to make a playoff push that don't mind his antics and his attitude and his work ethic and the whole minimal effort part. I can't really confirm or deny that. Haven't seen many Raiders games, but I'm just looking at it, and from an attitude standpoint, this guy doesn't need to come anywhere near the Detroit Lions. I'm all about right fit and stuff like that, but I'm all about toeing the line. And Marcus Peters seems like a guy that I don't want near my team. So let me know your thoughts. How bad are we at the cornerback position that you think we would take Marcus Peters? I'm going to say he won't come anywhere the Detroit Lions, but that's just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.